Top story we're tracking at this hour. There have actually been at least 5 missile attacks in the heart of Kyiv, the Ukrainian capital, this morning, with some reports suggesting that casualties are expected. The attacks come within days of the attack on Russia's bridge across the Kerch Strait, which connects Crimea with mainland Russia. Now, Crimea has been occupied by Russia since the year 2014, and one of the attacks in central Kyiv hit a popular park in downtown Kyiv, is what we know so far. Now, residents in the city are reporting several loud explosions. These are believed to be the most direct and concentrated attacks in downtown Kyiv since the war began. Right, Ukraine's president has just spoken a short while ago. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
Удари цієї ночі продовжили серію російських ракетних ударів по Запоріжжю, які лише цього тижня за час з 3 жовтня забрали життя вже щонайменше 43 людей. А ще були удари по Харкову, по містах Донбасу, по інших містах України. Ще були удари іранськими безпілотниками, авіаудари. Абсолютна більшість з них по цивільній інфраструктурі нашої держави, по цивільним людям. Коли хтось хоче переговорів, він такого не робить, а коли хтось терорист, він робить саме так. Чи дійсно переговори допомагають подолати терор? Зараз усім треба чесно дати собі відповідь на це запитання. Терористів знешкоджують. Терор – це злочин, за який має бути покарання. Терор на державному рівні – це один з найбільш жахливих міжнародних злочинів, який загрожує не тільки комусь одному у світі, а й усій міжнародній спільноті.
My colleague Vishnu Shom joins us on the phone line currently. Vishnu, these are the most intense strikes on Ukraine's capital since Russia abandoned an attempt to capture it in the early weeks of the war?
I would actually say that these are the most intense attacks on the center of Kiev ever. While there was furious fighting all around the capital, Kiev, large parts of central Kiev were essentially untouched. But now what we're seeing, and it's not what we had reported earlier, it's 5 missile strikes. There could well be dozens of missile strikes across that entire region. So it is a matter of huge concern because it marks a certain escalation, but it follows the Ukrainian, or presumably the Ukrainian attack on the Russian bridge across the Kerch Strait, which connects Crimea, which is on the Black Sea, to mainland Russia. So it's the partial destruction of that bridge which has resulted in this retaliation. So at this stage of the war, it's a very dangerous phase. There's no two ways about it. It comes at a time when Russia has threatened nuclear retaliation. The West, including the US President, have indicated that they see this threat to be substantive. They see this threat to be something to be looked at very closely. And therefore, the next couple of weeks are very important. And the reason I say that is also because it's quite clear now that Russia appears to be losing the war. They've lost immense amounts of territory which they had claimed in the east of the country and the south of the country as well. And for them to be able to again reclaim all the territory which they've lost, in other words, territory over 1,000+ kilometer front, seems difficult, if not impossible, given the massive losses of life and equipment which they have suffered. So I think, taking into account the present situation that Russia finds itself in and the rhetoric about nuclear weapons, and the fact that Ukraine has presumably attacked that bridge I spoke about, these are very much a retaliation. But a retaliation to what end? Because there is no signal or sign of it at all deterring the Ukrainians from carrying on with their war.
Worrying times indeed. Thank you so much, Vishnu, for joining us with the latest.